Hey guys, this is Mike Taylor, aka Battleship Cobra, and this is Podcast Season 1, Episode 7. I kind of promised to myself I would do 10 and in the first season, and so we'll see how that goes. I do enjoy them, and I have planned mostly to 10. I have a lot of different ideas. I'm putting it together, and I think of new ideas all the time. You're probably, if you're seeing this in video format, you can go to podcast.battleshipcobra.com to listen to it on any of the platforms that you listen to other podcasts. I'm on everything like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Pocket Casts, etc. And if you're listening in the audio format, you can go to youtube.battleshipcobra, and I have a lot of videos there too, including the video of these episodes, so you can see my happy face. So today we're going to talk about some stuff, okay? So we'll start out with my quote. Let's start out with our breath, okay? Remember the breath. You always want deep breath. If you're having a tough day, deep breath. You need a minute, just take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Most people are really shallow breathing, and this will help you to relax, okay? So let's do it together. A little cringy maybe, but whatever. Here we go. Ready? Inhale for whatever, exhale for whatever. That's it. Excuse me, that's kind of gross. Ready, go. Breathe in. Breathe out. I always feel more centered and more relaxed. Chances are you're not going to be more productive just holding your breath and grinding your teeth and clenching your neck. Do the same amount of things you were going to do, just do them with less angst, less worry, less anxiety. You're going to work at the same speed as you're going to work anyways. Why not just chill out a little bit? Okay, the first quote of the day. A warning is not a threat, but a spoken threat is a foolish warning to give your enemies. If a man is worth threatening, then he is worth killing. Cut him down before a word is spoken. Otherwise, keep your tongue prudently sheathed along with your sword. Akiyama Munenoshi. Yeah, so I am a Scorpio. I wonder if any of you relate to your astrological sign. Once I got into learning about Scorpios, I was very into the descriptions of the astrological signs. And I feel like even if you think horoscopes are complete garbage, that looking up your sign, and for me, looking up my sign as Scorpio, I really learned a lot about myself, and it helped me immensely understand some things I didn't understand before I got started. Before I got started with astrology. Just one second. Making a note. Just for me, just understanding this intensity, if you read the Scorpio thing, I am as intense as you're going to get. I am a Scorpio and a Cancer, moon sign, sun sign. And I'm pretty dang emotional. My wife is an air sign, and it's really clear, she's not completely on 100% without emotions, obviously, but she's more analytical in her mind, and I am more emotional in a lot of the decisions I make. There's so many things about being a Scorpio that I could kind of relate to it, but it is worth checking it out. Even if you don't have to believe in some magical spiritual thing, but even if it just helps you look at what you are doing and your habits, it is immensely useful. Why not learn more things about yourself and kind of project that lens of, hey, I'm super intense, I seek revenge. I don't mind being mean. I don't mind getting into conflicts. I'm so obsessed with like one specific thing. I just get to. So you have to use that energy to focus it. Now that I'm kind of a cultivated Scorpio, I would say it still gets out of control. But I think of like the waves of life as like I'm in an ocean and I can be on the top where the waves are crashing, or I can come down into the deep ocean and just see those waves, you know. I don't have to be in those waves. Plenty of times I've said dumb things, and now I really think about what I say quite a bit. I mean, I will be a little more crazy, but not offensive. I used to be pretty easy, like I would pretty easily just be interested in provoking people. If I didn't like them, if I didn't like you, you would know immediately, and it wouldn't be good for anybody. So that was kind of what that quote was about. This links to being disagreeable. There's kind of a trait, you know, and I think it's called the Big Five Traits, Jordan Peterson thing, being disagreeable. And he says, like, men are naturally more disagreeable. And I've really, like, my wife says I'm one of the most disagreeable people. I don't have a problem disagreeing with people. I don't have a problem now, more so, asking for what I want. You know, I'm not like really pushy and annoying, but especially like if I'm talking to somebody, if like I won't sugarcoat things, and it's just down to business. Like, you know, if I was dating you back in the day and things weren't going well, you know, I'd be like this isn't working out. Like, it's very straightforward. I feel like people will appreciate it. I feel like for me, it was just easier just to be so honest that there was no tact. I still have virtually no tact, but I have a lot more tact now. But I feel like it's a skill to be disagreeable and to say if somebody's doing something stupid to you, be able to say, hey, this is dumb and I don't want to accept that. And I know it's traditionally harder for women to do that for whatever reason. They want people to like them. They don't want people, you know, they might be in physical danger if they talk back. A lot of different things like that. But you can still cultivate disagreeableness and accept your dark side. And I think that's something that I've done in the process of learning to be a Scorpio and being disagreeable. I'm not really trying to be mean, but I think saying what I'm saying, it's an honest way of living. It's an honest way of communicating. I've really tried to improve my tact, though, for sure. So, shout out to all my Scorpios in particular. I know it's a really interesting thing, and a lot of Scorpios do identify with their signs. And I would say, frankly, most earth signs and most air signs, like, sorry, but, like, you're not really intense. And so I don't think you would really relate to it. So people are some air signs or some earth signs are like, I don't really identify it. And it's like, well, you know, you're a Capricorn or you're a Virgo, etc. I don't know a lot about every single sign, but I know that typically the people that are air signs and earth signs they don't believe it and they don't think it's important. But I think water signs and fire signs are going to much more identify with it. And if you read of the sign descriptions, you will kind of understand that more. Another topic, if you do not know what to do, how do you figure it out? Okay, well, the first thing you do is not to just think about it and do nothing. That's real stupid and you're going to waste a lot of time. Really, like, listen to your heart. And it sounds dumb, but just look at a bunch of different things. Start doing something or try something or try to take a course on something. Start reading about it a little bit or like looking up videos on it and try to find the easiest way you can get into it. Like, I started out, I don't know, I just somehow knew I would kind of like making YouTube videos. I don't know why or how. I watched so many, you know, okay, here's a good one. Martial arts. I was the biggest obsessed UFC fan ever. I was just like, I watched everything. But I never thought like, oh, I'd be good at that. I was, I guess, frankly afraid. I didn't know. You don't know. You think you go to a martial arts gym and people just beat you up or whatever. I mean, when I started, maybe that was a little bit the case, but it turns out that I loved it and I took a chance. Shout out to Preet, thanks for getting me into there. And he's like, you know what, I just started and let's just do it. I just like, let's just try it. You're such a huge fan of UFC, and I've stuck with it for so long. It's been really tough to do it in the last little while with the COVID thing, but it's changed my life, if nothing else, and I don't do any more. It's changed my life so much. I've done a lot. I've done a lot of different things. I met a lot of different people. I've just physically learned what I can do. I've mentally learned that I can push myself. I've got discipline. I gained a white belt mentality. You're always a white belt. I hope, learned a lot of humility, losing so many times in jiu-jitsu, just over and over and over again, tapping. You know, I really understand, like, this is where I fit. This is where I fit into that process. You can't fake and pretend like you're, oh, I'm just gonna have this, I'm gonna do jiu-jitsu with this guy and I'm just gonna go to level 11. I'm just gonna strangle him because I'm just so crazy. I'm just gonna be so crazy. It's like, no, you're gonna get strangled no matter what you do, and you suck, okay? Most guys are walking around, they suck, and they're gonna get their ass kicked. And you know, I don't want to go on and on about it, but two guys that don't know what they're doing, maybe. But if you run into somebody who can really fight, like, you just better hope that they don't want to fight you, because you don't know anything. So anyway, that's a little ranty about martial arts. But how did I know? I just did it, right? So you get this kind of feeling, and I get that you just listen to your intuition, you get drawn to it. I loved what I saw in the UFC. I loved all that stuff. So then I got into it, and it turns out that I really loved it. It changed my life. Was it tough sometimes? Yeah, but really changed my life. So on a work side and on a hobby side, sometimes hobbies come and go. On something like video production, like this YouTube thing, people think themselves to death about this YouTube stuff, man. Like, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that. You know, in their head, they're like, I'm gonna have so many subscribers, it's gonna be amazing. It's like, that's so dumb, and you're so far off, and you're so ridiculous. Just literally do it. Just start making, just literally put out a video today. Think of kind of what you want to say, but just pick a YouTube tag or copy another video that someone else has done. Literally just to get your feet wet and just jump right in. I didn't know what the hell I was doing then. I don't know what the hell I'm doing now. I've pivoted a couple times. I've changed a lot, and I've grown so much. I have seen myself for frankly who I am. I've pushed myself to do more. I've had conversations with so many people. I've connected with so many people. I've had great feedback. I've had some negative feedback too that I've had to deal with. So I just started and I got to do it. So I really feel if you're drawn to it with your heart or your mind, even a little bit, you owe yourself the honor of, if you can do something, to do it. And if you hate it, you know what? You've learned you hate it. And if you hate it, then you don't have to do it. And you've eliminated that and you can move on. And so this is something that people do in a lot of situations. Oh, my job and this and that. And it's like, you don't have to leave your job to get a sense of what the job is that you want to do. There are ways that you can get into it to try it. There are people you can talk to. There's always somebody willing to do something for you if you look for it. And it might not be easy, but just look for it and try it. See where you can go. You know, honestly, you get this FOMO, but you're going to learn if you get the right approach to something. Just like take the white belt mentality. White belt's from martial arts. It's like starting belt, if you didn't know. Then if you take the white belt mentality and you approach everything like a student, and you reflect on it, and you follow your heart, and you do it for the period of time that makes sense, then you're never going to lose. And you're going to learn what you like and what you're like, oh, I really like that. You know what I'm learning? Like, hey, I like animal videography. I did a little video compilation of my cat, Amy the cat, And this week last week, depending on when I put this out, I'm doing a little, we had some bunnies kind of staying at our house. Long story, but basically my daughter's going back to preschool, and part of the preschool program we get a rabbit to take care of rabbits for a week, and she gets to take care of them. But it's been so fun to like think of a concept, take the, I already enjoyed taking the photos and the videography itself with the technical stuff, but so it's just something I just enjoy it. I'm really excited right now to edit that rabbit footage. I've seen some of it and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. It's so fun to come up with a final product that you just love to see. But you never get to that if you don't freaking start. I don't care what camera you have. I don't care what mic you have. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what you've done. You need the basic tools to do it, and you need to just start. That's it. So that's mostly the easiest way to get to do that. Just start. I wanted to talk about poor technical skilled users, and I've thought about this a lot, maybe some way of evaluating it. A business's success and failure with an ERP system, or really any technological lever, is going to be based on the technological skill that you have. So if you have a poorly skilled technical crew of people, then every dollar that you put into technology is not going to get you a lot of money, a lot of return on investment. If you have a highly skilled technical team and everybody's just good with technology, you're going to get a lot more return on your investment in technology. So you have to kind of understand that. Are you really good with technology? Are your people really good with technology? Maybe you need to take a simplified approach and you need to say, well, I'm just either going to hire somebody who's better with technology, or I'm going to train and upskill the people who don't know that much about technology. But you really need to be aware of your skill level of the people that you're using and be really objective about them. Like, I wouldn't say only hire IT type people, but people that do have the basic skills, you can do a lot more with a lot less, especially if you're doing an ERP project. Anybody that has more technical skills, you don't want to take technical skills at the cost of, say, people skills, but it doesn't always have to be mutually exclusive in that way. So I was thinking about doing a scale, like maybe a test or something that you could get all your employees to do, called the Taylor scale. Of course, it's narcissistically named after myself. And it would give you like a score from 1 to 10. Like, here's the aggregate skills that your employees have, and here is roughly what your evaluation is going to be in terms of investing in software or new technology, whether or not it's going to give you a massive boost or not. So consider what you think is good with technology or not, and really practice at it. I mean, it's like I get things wrong a lot too. I'm just passionate about experimenting with technology, and I'm passionate about learning new technologies. I love having the opportunity to just play around with like a B1UP, product with the SAP world. It lets me just try different things and test different things. It's not so fun when you have a customer breathing down your neck and there's a big error message and you need to fix it immediately. It's not really fun at that point. But to try to make things work and to learn SQL and learn crystal reports when you're working on a report that you're really interested in and you find yourself in a field that you love, I think that's really amazing. So if you find a technical thing you want to approach, try to remove the fear from it and just dig into it. Just push buttons, read documentation, experiment with it. Think of like what you want to do and try to learn and think like the software program. And I think technical people find that a little bit easier to do, and non-technical people find that a little bit harder to do. Don't think in steps. Think trying to understand the software like you're learning it like a friend or something. That's kind of a little creepy. But I guess it's kind of like I never memorize like the position of buttons. That's why it's tough. So somebody tries to like troubleshoot something over the phone. It's like, I don't know. I need to see what you're seeing in order to fix it. And that's why something like TeamViewer, where I can connect to your screen and view what you're doing, is so amazingly useful. So that's it for today. Here's my quote. Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes the universe exist. Be curious, and however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can and will succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up. Stephen Hawking. It's pretty self-explanatory. What an interesting dude. And just don't give up, okay? If you're watching this video, you can go to podcast.battleshipcobra.com to get it on all the audio platforms. If you're on an audio platform, you can go to youtube.battleshipcobra.com to see all my video content. You can check out www.battleshipcobra.com for all the other crap I do. And I put out YouTube videos every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm trying to do these podcasts weekly. I really appreciate everybody and everything everybody who's given me even a like or just a comment or anything. I really appreciate the comments. They really help me to keep going. If you have any topics, you can contact me at linkedin.battleshipcobra.com. Any questions, linkedin.battleshipcobra.com. Again, I can't promise I'm going to do a bunch of support work for you, but just get in touch and say hi. Again, thank you guys so much. Have an awesome day. Remember to breathe. Bye.